By the foam of the sea she was made, her hair and eyes, feet and legs, breasts and neck. Her skin smooth as sea glass, her hair like a waterfall, her eyes deep as the ocean, and her nature as fierce as a raging river. Beneath the water she was free, untamed. By the waters she was nurturing, loving. By the waters she was destructive, cruel. She was woman, first and pure, bright and clear, dark and mysterious. She was the water, and the water was the womb of life. In the crash of her waves and in the rain of her storms lay the power of creation and destruction. It was her will that gave life, and her power that took it. And she was happy. From the storm she conjured came lightning, and from the lightning struck the earth for the first time. A fire began to burn. And from this collision of sky and earth came man. He was as hot as sun and as cold as moon, as close as earth and as far as sky. He was man. The fire burning within him called for moisture to quench the flames. He stood and walked to the edge of the waters. He bent, cupping his hands into the water, and brought forth liquid to his mouth, and drank of her. She arose from the deep, raging at the stranger for stealing the waters that were hers. But he spoke sweet words of apology. And when the two locked eyes, desire arose between them. The woman of water and the man of earth. Fell in love, and she was happy. The woman wished to live in the water, and the man to live on earth. But for love of him she conceded. For her concession, however, she extracted an oath from him. He was never to steal her waters again, and on every seventh day she would return to the waters that made her. He was never to spy on her communion with the waters. She said he could never understand its true nature, and he must be satisfied with that. He respected her command and gave him solemn word. Every seventh day would belong to her. With this, the two took pleasure in each other, and from their pleasure, she gave life to twins, a daughter and a son. And on the seventh day, she took her daughter with her, go ladies, and taught her the ways of the water. And she was happy. But as time went by, the man became curious as to where the woman went when she was not by his side. So, on to the seventh day, when she left to plunge deep within her waters and return to herself, he followed her and watched her bathe. The vision of her in the waters filled him with a burning desire, and as he did upon their first meeting, he was filled with a burning desire, and as he did upon their first meeting, he lifted a handful of water to his lips and drank. She was betrayed! He had broken his oath. From the left eye dripped a tear of sorrow, and from the right a tear of rage. The droplets trickled down her face and fell into the waters, surrounding her. With this, the sky filled with storm clouds that blocked the sun and sent the world into night. From the clouds poured a torrent of rain, like the world had never seen. For 6 days and 6 nights, rain devastated the earth. Rivers and ocean rose to devour the landscape. On the 7th, the skies cleared. The river returned to her banks. The ocean to her beaches. But of the woman, she had disappeared with the flood. The man searched, but there was no trace. All that remained of her were the raging storms. Raging storms. Running rivers and rolling waves. The woman returned to the waters that had given her life. She pined for those left behind, particularly her daughter. But she had no choice. She had to leave. The man had broken his oath and stolen what was hers. The waters were now her only sanctuary, and she was unhappy